Tonight on Q2, the FBI takes an unusual step, hoping to crack a case.
It's been hard. It's been real hard. Honestly, I don't know how we're holding it together.
A family still searching for answers as their daughter remains missing 8 months later. Plus, a war of words.
I'm very disappointed in Elon. I've helped Elon a lot.
The world's richest man and the world's most powerful man now suddenly at odds. And measles on the move.
Measles is one of the most contagious infections that we know to man.
A warning from health officials as the highly contagious disease begins to spread across Montana. The MTN 10 o'clock news starts right now.
From Montana's news leader, this is the MTN 10 o'clock news.
A good evening and thanks for joining us on this Thursday night. I'm Russ Riesinger. Tonight, a renewed push from the FBI in a missing persons case that has gone cold for 8 months. Suade Burdenground vanished from her home back in October, and since then, almost no clues. Her father, still searching, still grieving, hoping for any sign of his daughter. Now, as Charlie Kleps reports, federal agents are offering a reward, hoping to spark new tips and break open this case.
It's been hard. There's no answers.
For months, all the families had are questions.
I don't know where she's at.
Questions about the whereabouts of 13-year-old Suade Burdenground, who went missing in October.
It's been too long, and it's been real hard.
An ongoing situation causing Suade's father, Wade, and his family pain.
I've kind of seen my family's, the emotions, the torture, what we've been through.
And they aren't alone in their concern.
Usually we have some kind of update, some kind of something. And with her case, we have nothing.
Nikki Waggy with Warrior Women for Justice says not enough has been done in investigating the case.
At the end of the day, the family has definitely gone way too long without any answers, and that is a problem.
But now, possible hope on the horizon. On Friday, the FBI is holding a press conference in Crow Agency.
Oh, I'm very hopeful. I need some answers,
For the family, a moment that could offer some hope. For Waggy, it's help, but help delayed.
It would be much easier if the urgency came when they come missing versus when they've been gone for so long.
An ongoing situation for this family, representing a statewide crisis.
If someone knows something, call in as an anonymous caller. Help us out. Help my family out.
That press conference will take place at Little Bighorn College on Friday, starting at 10 a.m., where the family will continue to search for answers. For now, I'm Charlie Kleps in Billings, MTN News.
A Roberts man has been found guilty of 3 counts of kidnapping and 1 count of making an interstate threat. Adolfo Vargas Lepe was arrested on May 31st of 2023 after leading Carbon County Sheriff's deputies on a high-speed chase and ultimately flipping his vehicle. But it was a case that first began in 2017 when the government says he kidnapped a mother and her 2 daughters, transporting them to multiple states and into Mexico. He then told the woman he transported drugs for the Mexican cartel and threatened to have cartel members kill her family. Lepe also sexually assaulted one of her daughters while at a residence in Billings. Then in 2023, he kidnapped another woman who he'd known for several years, bringing her from Wyoming to Montana after threatening to hurt her. Lepe repeatedly abused that woman before she finally escaped, fleeing to a nearby bar to call the cops. His arrest then came 2 days later. Lepe faces up to life in prison. President Trump and his former advisor Elon Musk got into a heated battle on social media today. The very public dust-up follows days of Musk's criticism of the president's signature tax and spending bill. CBS News' Erica Brown has more from the White House.
President Trump and Elon Musk fought a war of words on social media Thursday after Musk sharpened his criticism of Trump's budget bill. On his Truth Social site, the president said Musk had gone crazy and threatened to cancel the billionaire's government contracts. On X, Musk said his SpaceX company would immediately begin decommissioning its Dragon spacecraft used to transport astronauts to the International Space Station. Earlier at the White House, Trump was asked about Musk's recent criticism of the spending package.
I'm very disappointed because Elon knew the inner workings of this bill better than almost anybody sitting here. And he only developed the problem when he found out that we're going to have to cut the EV mandate, because that's billions and billions of dollars.
Musk responded, saying false. This bill was never shown to me even once. Musk is pushing for lawmakers to kill the spending package he says will increase the deficit. And a projection from the Congressional Budget Office estimates tax cuts and spending in the bill will add more than $2 trillion to the deficit. During the back and forth, Musk in one post wrote, "Such ingratitude," and claimed without him, Trump would have lost the election. President Trump also held a high-stakes phone call with China's President Xi Jinping amid their ongoing trade war.
We had a very good talk, and we've straightened out any complexity. It's very complex stuff.
The president said the two leaders agreed to resume trade talks that have recently stalled. Erica Brown at CBS News, the White House.
And good Thursday evening, everyone. After a little bit more active afternoon and early evening for northern Wyoming and Montana, we have things quieting down. The clouds, the showers, and isolated thunderstorms that we had earlier in the day now falling apart rapidly as the sun is going down in the western sky. Temperatures, though, comfortable. It was a little bit cooler than average, but we'll take this much better alternative than 102 degrees like our record high from 1988. Had a low this morning of 45 and a high of 70, so both temperatures below average, but they're not going to stay there. And we have other changes in the forecast, both short-term and long-term. Our complete 7-day forecast with all those changes coming up in just a few minutes.
Measles is on the move in Montana, and state health officials say it's only a matter of time before it ends up in your county. Montana has 17 confirmed cases in Gallatin, Hill, and Flathead counties. However, health officials revealed dozens of people were likely exposed at a Great Falls medical complex. Those not vaccinated could show symptoms within 21 days.
Measles is one of the most contagious infections that we know to man. If somebody with measles walks into a room, 90% of people who have no immunity to it will get infected with measles. So if you have 10 people in a room, 9 of them will be infected with measles. It's airborne.
State health officials urge Montanans to get the MMR vaccine. 2 doses are 97% effective. There are no active cases here in Yellowstone County, but health officials say 2 residents, including an unvaccinated child, traveled outside of the country, became infected, and recovered before heading back home. Nationwide, the CDC says there's 1,088 cases in 33 states. Last year, there were 285 cases total. The worst outbreak is in Texas with 600 cases, mostly in children. Some Montana State University employees say they're being forced to abruptly give up remote work, and they're not happy about it. The university announced it is ending remote work options starting July 1st. MSU says remote work was never guaranteed, and this shift back to in-person is meant to support students and create fairness across campus. One employee, Joseph Hancock, says there was no formal statement from MSU, and another employee who remained anonymous told MTN the decision lacked input from staff.
This was a clumsy, ham-fisted effort to implement a policy in between presidential administrations in order for someone within leadership to implement this change that they think is for the best, whether it's because of some sort of bias they have towards specific careers or simply because they have outdated understandings of how the office environment functions.
Michael Becker, Vice President of Communications for MSU, says only 7% of MSU's employees currently work remotely, and the university will honor existing agreements until they expire. Saddle up for a field trip that's anything but ordinary. The Billings Chamber's annual Egg Tour is rolling through the heart of farm and ranch country, giving city folk a front row seat to where Montana roots run deep. MTN's Marcus Kakova takes us along for the ride, straight from the tractor seat.
95% of Yellowstone County's 1.68 million acres are classified as farmland. But buried under Billings buildings, it's a stat easy to lose sight of.
We're fortunate to live in Montana to where, you go a couple minutes outside of any of the towns, especially a major city like Billings, and all of a sudden you're immersed in agriculture.
Alex Shimke is the chairman of the Billings Chamber Ag Committee. He's behind this year's sold-out ag tour, taking 65 people beyond the city limits.
There's some folks that know and breathe agriculture, and then there's some folks that don't know the nose from the tail of a cow.
While the tour is often seen as a great networking opportunity,
12 gauge puts them down right now. It's done. And we don't have to worry about it. That's a huge thing with the USDA. One shot, one kill. You have to use 2 shots. You're going to be answering a bunch of questions.
There's an irreplaceable element of education, of really seeing where the meat on your plate gets made.
Especially in the last few years, post-COVID, knowing where your meat comes from has been really important to consumers, and so we stopped at Carbon County Meats.
Shane Giavetti runs Carbon County Meats, which has been USDA inspected for the last year and a half, a major milestone for smaller local processors.
I know everybody knows there's a lot of rules when it comes to it, but the depth of it is pretty surprising to most people.
For Shane, reaching USDA inspection isn't just about rules, it's about building trust, keeping communities connected to the food they eat.
As the more education we can get out there, the better, and especially on locally produced goods.
Marcus Kakova, MTN News.
Billings Public Schools getting a major boost in an effort to renovate the crumbling Dallas Stadium. Greg and Eileen McDonald donated $500,000, putting the total at $1 million in confirmed gifts so far. The district wants to raise $12.5 million to update the aging structure. The plan calls for new bleachers, locker rooms, new lighting and track lanes. Naming opportunities are also available for the stadium.